Hello everyone and welcome back here to a very special The Light Between Us episode. Of course, The Light Between Us is here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, exclusively presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. We're at Chick-fil-A Cicero today with Luann Mehallow, and we have the opportunity to tell her story to you, spreading her journey as well as faith, love for God, and of course this awesome chicken. So
absolutely.
So I want to start there because when I was speaking with Jimmer, he was talking with me about Maria, who is your niece.
Yes.
And Maria started at Chick-fil-A Cicero when they opened.
Right.
You did not.
No.
So do you want to share how she got you here?
Sure. Well, as soon as Maria started working here, her and I have the same personality, which is a little bit teetering on crazy, and but good crazy. And she asked me for up to 4 years to come over and help out, and because I would be great talking with people, caring about people in the dining room and all that kind of stuff. And I was already working a part-time job, and I wasn't ready to leave yet. And then the more the years went on, the more the Lord was giving me more of, what's the word I'm looking for, a nudge that I should change my jobs for whatever reason. And we're empty nesters at home, so it would look different at home, in my work. So it took me a good year to transition and telling my old boss, and then telling my niece Maria that I think I'm ready to step it up. So I'm not doing exactly what she wanted me to do, but in reality I kind of am, because I work the register, I serve food, and I clean up dining room. And I have had so many opportunities to talk to people, to love on people, to share Christ with people in a very relaxed atmosphere where it's allowed. Yeah. And I never thought I'd be doing that. It's hard work, but I absolutely love it. You said that Maria tried for 4 years. But God kept giving you more and more of a nudge. What was the nudge? What did it feel like? Well, every time I would pray about it, I would go into my job, and my boss, who's also a Christian, would say something to confirm that. Little did she know she was confirming that, like every day. Yeah. And so she was sad but excited for me at the same time, because she's a Christian as well. And if we don't do what we're prompted to do, that the Lord wants us to do, we're not going to be as effective, I believe, in sharing our love and just caring on people.
When you said that she would affirm it without even knowing she was affirming it, what was she saying to you?
I'm trying to remember, because it's been a while. I don't even know. It was just comments about... You just walk in, you're like, good morning, and she's like, do you want some Chick-fil-A today? No, not that much, but it was more of, hiring new people, and she knew I wouldn't be there forever, and she would just make comments about me not being there for some reason without her even realizing it. And it was hard, because I've known her from high school. Yeah. And we had a great relationship. So it was hard transitioning, but I don't remember what she said. There were different things that she said that confirmed what I prayed that morning about being able to make that transition, and is it what you want me to do? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So who said I was right first, God or Maria?
Maria would not say that. Okay. She's very kind. We're very much alike. Okay. But she's very kind. She was just excited. She was like over the moon. Yeah. When I said I'm ready. So I sat down with Jimmer, and he's like, oh sure, yeah, come on, we want you here. And I've enjoyed every minute. And with my transition, with my lifestyle now, our kids and our grandkids are all over. Yeah. It gives me more opportunity to see them. So I'm able to take time off, and I don't even want to say my bosses here, my superiors, my whatever they want to, whatever I want to call them, because I feel like we're peers. Yeah. Because I wouldn't know that they were a different level if they didn't have a different color shirt on, because they jump right in where it's needed. And it just amazes me that I just love it. I just love it.
Well, and I mean, what does that mean to you to work in a place where, like you said, if it wasn't for a different colored shirt, you don't see the difference between management and somebody that's grabbing the food or cleaning the dining room or whatever that may be, to work in a place where there is no hierarchy.
Right.
There's just a team working together.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Everything. We were just talking about that with someone yesterday, and it's just, everyone's a team. Nobody thinks of themselves better than anybody else. Oh dear, don't hit them. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
I think even if you come in and you don't have 100% servant heart, after a few months, you end up with that servant heart because you're working alongside people that do that. They have a servant heart. They're going to go the extra mile. They encourage you. They work alongside you. They don't get mad at you. And I just look at them. Even during the busiest times, I can reach out to them and they're like right next to me. It's amazing that the teamwork, the selflessness, the humbleness. I can say that about like every one of my superiors that I work with. I love them all. I got to know them, and they're interested in my life.
Yeah.
So
to be interested in your life, where has your faith grown to, and where did it come from? Bring us on the timeline.
I get to speak more into people's lives here than I would say at some other restaurant or store. I was able to with my other job, but it was more of an office job, and there wasn't as many opportunities. I get to bless people, like I'll throw a free cookie in there or whatever, and I love to bless people that are having a hard day. What was the question again? Repeat that question.
Just the journey.
Oh,
of
my
your
journey
faith.
of my
Yeah.
faith.
Yeah.
I'm able to be more, I was always bold, if you can't figure that out already. I was always bold, but here, you're not going to someone's not going to get upset if you decide to sit down with somebody and talk with them and hear about their life and what they're going through, because people are not what they appear on the outside. Once you get to know people, then you know their story, and you can pray about it. You can pray with them if you want, and it's okay to do that. And has it grown my faith? Probably, but it's given me more opportunity to share my faith. Does that make sense?
Yeah. We live in a world where just saying God out in public.
Yeah.
People.
I'm not politically correct at all.
So how do you live in a world where when you say God, people sometimes act like you said some swear word or something like that?
How do you live in that world?
Yeah.
It's very difficult because they're making it harder and harder for you to do that, and you could get in some serious trouble by doing that. But that doesn't faze me in the least. I'm also respectful. They know where I stand. They know where my faith is. And like we were talking earlier, I don't like jump all over people and say, you need to do this or this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I want to share my life and what the Lord has done in my life and what he could be doing in other people's lives. That goes much further than shoving it down their throats, because that's not right. I'm just wrong.
It's not
We're
right.
back. We're
It's
back.
not right, and I feel like God proved it by throwing the camera.
Right?
I was like, you're right. It's
Right,
not
exactly.
right. As soon as you said it wasn't right, it was
That
like
was
right on cue.
weird.
Yeah, it was right on cue.
So I'm respectful about, where I am, whom I'm with,
yeah.
but they also know where I stand.
Yeah. No,
I'm not going to deny that.
No, and I think it's weird to live in a world today where people that don't believe in God demand that they be respected and left alone and believe whatever they want, but then they tell the people that believe in God to not share it and to not be respected.
Right.
So it's this weird juxtaposition of accept me for who I am, but I don't accept you for who you are.
Right.
Or you have to be okay with me, but I'm not okay with your belief in God. And I just feel like it's so strange to live in a world that I don't know, thinks that it created itself, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who are not Christians and are very much more liberal, obviously. But they know where I stand, and that doesn't affect our friendship because, and I'm able to go to her and say, I felt offended by what you said because I'm not like that.
Right.
I'm a Christian, but I won't do what that person did to you. You know, because we're supposed to live amongst them and share our faith and live our lives in them, not do what they're doing, but to be around them and influence them.
Yeah, you know, I think we kind of just lost the art of, hey, I don't agree with you,
Right.
but I can still have dinner with you.
Right.
You know?
I will never say to someone, I can't be your friend anymore. I just think that's awful. And no one's done that to me yet that I know of. So, yeah.
So what keeps you from being afraid to just be you?
Well, that's not all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we could come off like we're not. There are times where I know I'm supposed to say something or do something and I hold back because I'm not sure about the response I'm going to get, or I'm in a bigger crowd, but people still know who I am. But I get scared sometimes, I get fearful, and I won't be bold all the time. I mean, there's times we miss the opportunity to do what the Lord is prompting you to do, and then you know it later. So you try to do better next time.
Yeah, you know, I mean, nobody's perfect, right?
Right.
I just think that we strive to be the best we can be, or we should.
Right.
You know, and so when you wake up in the morning, what do you thank God for? When you do reflect on the fact that I'm not a perfect person, I try to be the best I could be. When you get up in the morning and you got a fresh slate and a new chapter to write, what are you thankful for?
That He allows us to make mistakes and He forgives us. In my devotions in the morning, it's always perfect for that day. And I always say, remind me of those things that I've read and help me to do those things.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that He forgives me each day because I am far from perfect, far from even that line, you know, I mean, and anyone that says they are, kind of like you wonder.
Yeah.
But I do not say I'm even, you know, I have a long way to go.
Well, for you, what do you consider to be the best part of who you are? When you say you have a long way to go and nobody's perfect, what do you love about Luann? You gotta love yourself before anybody else can.
You do.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Man, that was a tough question. Oh, man. I like how I'm learning to be more bold.
Okay.
And not care about if someone doesn't like me because of that. That's a tough one. You have to ask someone else that question about me. Right?
Well, no, what do you like about you, you know?
I like... Oh my gosh. I have fun.
Yeah.
I have fun. Like I said, I like being able to share with anybody here.
Yeah.
My personality allows for that. So my personality could be good and bad because of that. But I like that I'm not shy about that.
Yeah.
I like that I can do that and I want to do that. As we get older, I think we get more bold because it doesn't matter who likes me or whatever. Like when I'm working, I'm one of the older people. So I look at them as my grandkids. So I feel if you don't like me, I don't care. But if your peer said something to you, then I wouldn't want my peer to get mad at me. But I feel I want to pour into these, I don't want to say kids, but young people,
Yeah.
young adults. I want to be there and hug them when I want to, ask them if they're okay. Am I doing that enough? Probably not. Something I could probably work on more, but we're so busy.
Yeah.
You hug them as you're reaching and getting
Yes,
fries.
exactly.
You hug
Yep.
and fry grab.
And I'll
it.
say, who needs a Luann hug?
Which is important.
Yeah.
How
Yep.
would you describe God to a non-believer?
Oh, man. I would probably tell him what he's done in my life during my cancer diagnosis,
Can you bring us into that a little bit?
Sure. I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 33. I am now 61. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And since then, we've had a lot of people in our family diagnosed with that. But I don't, and when it says in the Bible that he's going to give you extra peace more than like unsurpassable peace, he actually did that for me. When everyone around you doesn't know what to do or how to help you, I was just sitting there and his peace just flooded me like you can't explain it. Because I was the one going through it. I'm great now. I had my surgeries, I've had my chemo, and I'm able to speak into other people's lives that are going through that. I pray for my daughters because I have 2 daughters, but you can't even explain how the Lord helps you through those steps. Did I have bad times during it? Absolutely. I would have my highs and lows, and I would think something was wrong with me, and my husband would say it's time to go to the doctor, and the doctor would say you're fine, and I would just need that reassurance from a medical person.
Yeah.
So we are human still too, but through the stuff that I've been through, I have felt that the Lord was right next to me, pouring into me, or sending friends that were Christians around me to pray with me and to be with me. My family was fabulous, but God gave me extra peace. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
It's just when you watch someone else going through that kind of diagnosis, you don't know what you can do. You don't know what you should do. And I would share my experience to somebody of how the Lord has helped me through that. We've had other things happen in our family that the Lord is just say, okay, it's my turn. You stand back and I will take care of this for you. That's hard for me.
Yeah.
But we have to be obedient. When we're obedient, I think that's when we see God's abundance of miracles and blessings on our family and everything else. Does that answer that question a little bit?
Yeah. It does. So a final note in the light between us here with Luann today on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Jimmer Sikowski, what does he mean to you?
That guy's amazing. I didn't really know him before his diagnosis. I didn't really know him. I mean, he was not in a wheelchair as much as he was when I first met him. So I really didn't know him. He's always, we have an open email with everybody or whatever, text message thing.
Yeah.
He's remembering all these special times for employees. I don't see him down. I'm sure he is at times, like I was. But he's always got this better look on everything, and always brings it back to the Lord giving him that. He never ever doesn't give God the glory for, and let's face it, everyone needs that, but he needs it extra special. But nothing gets him down that I see when he's in public, and I've heard he's like that at home as well. So he's an amazing man, and when you rely on the Lord, that's everything. Because you could have all the money in the world, and then tragedy happens, but you still have the Lord. And that's more than anything. When you have that, you have everything. I mean, he's amazing. He remembers names. He remembers everything. And sweet guy. He'll challenge you.
Yeah.
But he should.
Yeah.
We should have someone challenging us on a daily basis.
I agree.
So,
Well, very kind words to Jimmer, and the why do you believe
God gave you peace in the storm, right? They say sometimes God calms the storm, other times he calms the sailor.
Yep.
So with that being said, for Luann, for myself, Dan Tortora, we appreciate you being here in the light between us. Please remember you are not alone. And in suffering, in strife, in hard times, it's easy to stop believing. But Luann is an example here today and every day that amidst the worst of the worst, cancer diagnosis, she didn't stop believing. And now we're almost 3 decades later from that diagnosis, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So you're not alone. You are not silent. Please don't be silent. And come into Chick-fil-A and get so much more than a chicken sandwich, and really get to see a place that builds God up instead of pushing him down, and send you all our love. So as always, God bless, no stress, do your best. We'll talk soon. Be well. Thanks, Luann.
Bye. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.